Good morning, TFR.
Good morning.
Hi, this is Alan. I like Ironworx because it's where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
I love Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zack. It's like sitting in your front room having a cosy chat with your best friends.
Hi, it's Diva here, and I just want you to know that Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zack, it's definitely my favourite dose of reality. Come join the family and keep it flat.
Why sleep in when you could get your dose of iron in the morning? Listen to the Ironworx on TFR.
This is Enlightened Dawn. Roses are red, violets are blue. Iron Realm Media is the best on the planet. To this show, I will forever be true. You guys are truly the best, and I love you guys. I'm so thankful to have you in my life.
Do you like listening to space letters from Never a Straight Answer? Then tune in to The Ironworx with Zack, Walter, and Josh. Break clear of the fear on the Ironworx and become an Iron Scout.
Thank God it's Friday.
Happy Friday, my friend.
And happy Friday to you all.
It's Friday, my dudes.
It is Friday, mighty dudes, and happy Friday morning to you.
Push the button, Josh.
Oh, son of a bitch. I was so excited about so many other things, and yeah.
I know. I don't want to leave out our rockfinists.
No. And they're there, waiting on me. To
They are there.
Push the MFN button.
They are. I tried, guys. I waved. Yeah. Anyway.
Dudes, happy Friday.
Hey, there you are. Sorry, I was not ready for that.
Nor was I. Jesus.
So, how you doing?
You know, I'm actually hurting pretty good today. Yesterday.
Sorry, man.
It's all right. Getting all overconfident in the fact that I had walked away from that thing unscathed, which apparently I did not. Sorry, I'm still trying to get set up. We are Zackless this morning, which has thrown off my layout for OBS.
Yeah, well, throw in the chat feed. Why not? I don't know. I'm just saying stuff at this point because I'm trying to get everything open too. Good morning, everyone in chat who I have yet to type to. I will type soon. It's coming. Believe it or not. I am multitasking. I know it astounds you all that I get quiet when my brain functions. But yeah. Turns out science says God almighty. Okay, I'm done. I'm over. Going back to bed. Science says that is you can only do like what? 4 projects? 5 projects? I don't know. I put the story in without reading it. You know how we do it here at the Iron Realm. Yeah, you absolutely can't handle more than 5 projects at once. That's new science. We'll get to that. I'm jumping the gun. Damn it. Bad Walter. I need Kratom.
Yes.
That's a shocker.
I'm still trying to get stuff set up from the lack of Zack.
Lack of Zack. That is our show title. You've heard it happen today, ladies and gentlemen. Lack of Zack. Let me write that down because in like 10 minutes, that's gone. Oh, that was Darren's high praise. I copy pasted. Thank you, Darren. What's the name of the show again?
Lack of Zack.
Rackless and backless? Wait, what? That's not it.
Right. That's how like a cocktail dress. Zackless and backless.
Oh my goodness. So it is now officially in the notes. We'll see if it stays. Is it going to be the winning show title? You guys may not even know how many show titles there are during one potential show, or potential show titles there are during one show. Hey, there's dyslexia. Not really. Sorry, dyslexics. Who knows? I probably got so many spectrum defining traits that, sorry.
big shout out to everybody in chat that did bother to show up this morning.
Yes.
I'm sure shit is just popping off in South Carolina, and everybody is either just now going to bed or still soundly asleep, as well they
Absolutely.
should be.
And that's exactly as I figured it would be.
Mm-hmm.
And as it should be. So for those of you who haven't the wherewithal, or maybe you're across the pond, or just whatever the reason that you're not able to attend, I am definitely here with you and commiserating, as I was when I was doing things yesterday, blah, 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 whatever. And then as I got ready to go to bed, I usually throw on just whatever is maybe live, or whoever's got something recently up or something, just trying to stay on top of the things that are going on in our community. And so I did that last night, and good Lord, it was so much already going on. I'm like, yeah, this is going to be nuts. So I'm so glad you guys are there. I'm glad y'all are having a blast.
Just so dang lucky to be able to get out there. Maybe
usually I have you guys handy, so I'm muting up and doing little extracurriculars, but today it's a little more difficult. So you're going to hear things like that. You just never know what else might happen in this show today, audio-wise. It'll be like live radio. Live radio. Where did I just say something about live radio? Where did I just say something about live radio? I don't know. Something I'm watching, apparently. Something I watched with Michelle. Oh, it's something. Oh, what is it called? Project 81, I believe, is the name of it. And it seems to be a bit of a play on the found footage genre. A very unique approach to that idea of found story, if you will, which there have been a couple that were really exceptional, even later on after the big ones had kind of run their course. But this one, yeah, it's something else. It's a series, and I'm not going to spoil any of it. If you have some free time and like a little mystery, definitely it has some layers to it. And some little bloodline stuff, perhaps. I see a genetic test in the plot line. Just throwing a few, really, out there for y'all. Yeah, it seems like it's got some potential to be very intriguing. But in it, there was a character who was part of a troupe that apparently does live on the stage, old school radio broadcasts. They have like the Foley area set up, the walking box. Yeah, it's pretty cool looking. Good idea. I used to listen to a lot of live radio when I was young. Well, I used to listen to a lot of recorded, older live radio when I was younger. Quite a fan of audio serials, if you will.
That is a long lost art, although I think people are trying to start to pick back up on it. I think even some of the audiobooks are trying to nod back to the old radio dramas.
This thing. So yeah, here we go. A little live product review today, ladies and gentlemen. So as you may have heard or may not have heard, I was in the market for a new grinding device for herbal goodies. And, I figured I'd just go throw $15-20 at something at the big ordering place, and it wouldn't be a big deal. How wrong I was. Apparently, it's become a thing. And so because it's become a thing, there's all these companies who've got the newest type of way for you to grind up your goodiness. But some of them are saying things like, yeah, you don't really want those teeth in there gnashing and gnarling up those delicate, oh so yummy trichomes. And I get that. I do have to clean those teeth quite often with some type of blade that sits handy on the tray, or some type of isopropyl and Q-tip situation. But keeping those teeth free of the gumminess is all part of the old school. And then there's the keef catcher, no keef catcher. Do I want it to stay on there? Do I care if it falls for later? And I've really gotten used to having that little extra oomph hanging out at the bottom of a grinder, so I definitely want that included. And so in looking for things, I found out that to get one that is supposedly going to do a good job of not destroying your trichomes, we're talking $80 to $100. Easy starting point. Some get on up there to $150 and $200. I'm like, hey, I got fingers and scissors. I'm not spending that much for goddamn grinders. So I got to looking to see why these would cost so much. And again, it's all about the teeth spacing and the holes that things would fall through so that they don't sit in the tooth area. And that's something I always liked when I was out searching for them back in the day, when they were easy to find at the service station, was, nice large holes for things to fall through so it wouldn't just sit there and get mushed up to a fine paste. So with all that in mind, I did the research, and turned out that there's a whole new world of what they call milling going on out there. A flour mill, not F-L-O-U-R, but F-L-O-W-E-R. And it is supposedly the best way to do it if you don't want sticky fingers and sticky scissors, which is kind of the other situation. It has blades in there, and there's a weighted top, and it pushes through to these blades. It makes it so that it supposedly is a fluffier, more trichome-filled experience for you. And so I got to looking and finding some coupon codes and et ceteras, and finally got me one for about $20.
Nice.
Not a fan of the mills.
No.
It just seems that I'll send a picture in a minute for you guys to show you what I'm getting here. It seems like maybe these guys that created it are getting some old Mexican ditch stuff. Or I don't know what they're grinding on, but it talks in their little description on how it basically turns it into the best form of matter for a vaporizer and things like that, because it's all separated and nicely fluffed up. And that's not what I'm getting. I'll send a picture here in a minute, because I was going to actually review it to them and say, hey, guys, you're not even close. This is not even close. So not a fan. I'll put it in the show notes. I know I'm rambling, but I'm also multitasking, trying to use that device even as we speak, and it is a throb. But yes, banana, absolutely, Martin Haley. How did you know? Are you over my shoulder? Get off me.
No, because David Banner's up there smoking on a keef and banana glue. Jay.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Heavy but nice, or heavy but ice, but I assume that was meant to be nice.
But no. Keef and banana glue. Nice. Yeah, I like a little. Right now, it's a honey banana is the particular loveliness I'm playing with. Oh, actually, no, this might not be that, but that's one of my favorites right now because it's keef content. It is amazing.
Yeah, it is
amazing.
Very keefy, isn't it?
Crazily keefy. So yeah. Anyway, I'll the company's name is Higher Standards, I believe, and the product is called Aerospaced. Yeah, I'll send you guys a link here in a second. Like I said, it's not. I don't know. It's probably doing exactly what it's supposed to do, and I'm just not used to what it's doing. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I also love sticky fingers, Axel, but in the middle of a show when you're trying to mouse over here and type hello over there and grab a phone to send a picture over here, and suddenly everything in the room has little cat hairs stuck to it in little fingerprint areas. So yeah.
Zombie Snoop knows what's up.
You are correct, Zombie Snoop. It is very fire. Shout out to Flat Earth Farms.
Oh
the man. Who else is in chat? I see the Hulk himself. I see Zombie Snoop. Liz, hi, sweetie. On a plane, it's happening. Ross Hoss in the house. What's up, Iron Horse? Sherry Ives had to get up early, and never mind. Good morning, Sherry. We said hey to Martin. Good morning, Axel, with the sticky fingers. Yes. Martin Haley, I said that one. Who else is here? Verteg, what's up? Happened. Roberto. Robert Page in the house. I know I saw. Did I not see Dawn? There she is. Good morning, Dawn. Let's see who else is way up the list. There's Daz. I knew I saw you because I said your name earlier. And then over there on the fin, well, I see 5 numbers or a number 5. I don't know who it is. There's no way to check that there. Hi, number 5. How are y'all?
Well, numbers 3, 4, and 5. Howdy.
Hi, yeah. You number 1 and 2 guys, man. Screw y'all. No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. Where is it? I cannot find my device. Perhaps I will have to go back to my emails and dig it up.
When I started working at the job I'm currently employed, I ran across a couple of guys that were also working there that I had worked with previously in a restaurant. One of those guys flipped out during COVID and decided he was done wearing his mask at work and just stormed out, and they asked him to put it back on, and that was the end of that. But what he did was he had a little CNC machine at home and a lathe and was machining using aircraft aluminum large grinders, like for 14 grams at a time sized large grinder. And that's what he was doing. And he was charging like $85 a pop for these big ass grinders made from.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
There was someone I'm sure here locally, a machinist, whatever, had made for one of the local shops. Shout out to Burn. Pretty decent little shop there in Lafayette. But they had one on their counter for years when they had first opened, and it had to be 1.5 foot across. Yeah, it had a big like crank thing on the top portion to like literally like turn a big millstone across the top of it. It was nuts. Never saw him using it obviously in the store, but it was quite the showpiece. So yeah, Higher Standards is the correct name. I thought I was right. And the exact thing I have is somewhere here. Now they have normal, regularly toothed grinders, and they have decent prices as well. Well, goodness, accessories, that would be under that, I guess. I don't even know how I found this thing.
So using them old school grinders, Walter, how many times did you pack up a bowl or twist up a jib and be like, oh my God, what happened to all my trikes?
Ever, never.
Never. Yeah. Maybe it is mashing up them gentle little trichomes there inside the teeth, but I never fucking notice it.
Right. Well, again, this idea I think is aimed more at the community of vaporizers out there who don't want a very compacted, gooed up area of airflow in a vaporizer bowl or one of those glass whips like I have currently. You want it to be as air flowing as possible so that all those areas are getting the warmth and the releasing of those precious gases and yummy goodness. So my plan as I approach this last bit of surgery for the end of this year that I'm about to go do here in a week or so is have that handy again like I did when I had my first surgery at the first part of the year. And so yeah, we're planning ahead here. And so that was why that even became like, well, maybe I do want to leave more on there than I'm putting down into the collector or upon the teeth. But anyway, I am looking for it. They have a lot of stuff here. I didn't really dig through their shop nearly like I should have. But you talk while I look for the link that I'm trying to share. So you talk.
Sorry, I'm trying to get caught up in chat and then wasn't going to interrupt you telling me to talk. I see old Ross in chat saying, yo, Walt and Zach, I haven't been able to catch you guys in ages. Has the world started spinning yet? Asking for a friend.
No. So far not.
No, so far not. So far not.
And you have been missed, sir. It was a very nice, good to see you back type thing. Andrew B. has made it over there as well, I see.
David Banner saying, I want YouTube to take away my medical misinformation strikes. Yeah, no kidding.
No, I can't do that. Oh, so that's Josh, by the way. This is Walt, and that's Josh. I'm just fucking with you, man.
And Zach may show up at any time. I just assume he's passed the fuck out.
But I figured that dude stayed up late jamming and doing the things that you do. Man, I am not even close to finding this frickin' thing. I don't understand. Maybe if I type it in, that would probably help. Okay, those are the words. Let's bring it up. Boom.
What you got?
I got it. I found it. So this is the one I currently have. Where's the share? Where's the share? There it is. I'm sharing screens for you. I got the one that is just metal, not anodized, even though that's supposed to be fine. I don't like it when it's anodized colored because they always come off. And even though that's supposed to be like fine, it's not for me.
No.
So anyway, this is it. This is the pieces. As you see, the top part is bladed up there. This part has nothing except like some indents that are the same shape as these blades. Nice, what you call it? Gauge on the mesh on that screen, so things are falling through nicely that I want to have fall through without any kind of extra shaking or throwing a dime down in there or any of those old school tricks we used to do. None of that. It just falls through. It's very nice. But I will say it doesn't seem to be as vape friendly as I thought it would be. We'll see when I pull out the vape. Anyway, here's the other. Let me share this picture of what I get down in there in a moment as I'm, again, multitasking very ineptly. Where is my gallery? There it is.
It's probably because you're trying to do 7 or 8 things at once.
Come on, raw. Yeah, you only can do 5. So if we're doing more than 5, we're fucking it up for everybody. Wow, did I actually not take those pictures? I thought I did. Oh, there they are.
And I mean, I'm sure that if they're very simple, basic activities, I mean, if you count, I can walk and chew gum, and I can breathe, I can beat my heart and grow my hair all at the same fucking time. That's how well I can multitask. I don't think that really counts. I think they're trying to assume it's going to be more complicated tasks, and then I don't think you can do 5 complicated tasks at once. I think you switch back and forth from one to another, to another, to another, to another, to another, to another quickly and repeatedly, but I don't think you're actually doing them at the same time.
Okay. Sorry, I was beeping and blopping into the ear area. All right, let's close that. Let's close that. That's way too much open right now. How many minitudes do we have left?
It's a good question. I'm not even in the vault. Couldn't tell you.
We have too many minutes. I mean, we have not enough minutes. So on the way back in, not on the way out, like I planned on doing it, because I was all fucking playing with a grinder link. I'm sorry, a mill link. I don't know. You know, I don't have time to play this song. But when we get back, I have a new song from Flatty McFlatterson. Kakalaki Crew and Flatty McFlatterson have put up a new song we will present here in just a few moments after we come back. In just a few moments.
Liz the Iron Maiden complimenting me on my appearance over there on THC. Truther's Hour of Comedy. Talking to Pedo Wood. If you go back to their show last Saturday, you'll see that Pedo Wood. That was the one that I finally managed to make it over there on time for a show. But yeah, that was a good time. It's always nice to be on somebody else's show every once in a while.
Oh, that was epic. Ironworx. That is definitely multitasking, my friend.
Yeah, and that's almost like cyclical. In with the shit, out with the shit.
Right. That's the circle of life, I'm pretty sure, right there.
Facebook on the toilet. Circle
Master
of life.
level. Absolutely. So. Oh, that is so great. All right. Well, other than that song and some little bit of lettuce when we get back, it's just going to be more of us rambling on while we trying to multitask and not do 5 things at once, only 4. Or no, we will only do 5, not 6. You can't do 6-second abs. Oh, guess what? He's coming to Lafayette. I will be seeing 6-second abs in person in, I think, December, late November.
That's awesome.
Harlan Williams. Yeah, fucking A.
I think we're going to try to get up there and go see Chris Webby and Echo. They're coming into concert here in November, too. So those are 2 guys. I'm not a big concert guy. There's not many people I want to care enough to go out in public to see in a large, crowded, smoky venue, but that'd be too.
I hear break music.
Oh, you're right. It is just very quiet.
For some reason, got 10 seconds.
Totally ducking it under. Not usually. And stick around. We got the second half of the first half coming up right after this here on the Ironworx, truthfrequencyradio.com, TFRlive.com. We'll be right back.
It's not okay for you to be a weak loser. It's not okay. And the reason it's not okay is because you could be way more than that.
There's somebody sitting home right now. There's a young 10-year-old kid sitting home that don't have a father. And he's ready to join the game. He's ready to give up. I'm telling you, don't give in. And don't ever give up.
It's a crime, an ethical crime, for you to allow all that necessary potential to go to waste. It hurts you, it hurts your family, it hurts the world. Really, really, it does.
Discover the extraordinary powers of intuitive healing with pain transmutation, a method of holistic healing for the human soul, body, mind, and emotions. If you are looking for answers and a deep understanding of how to help yourself and the people around you to live a happier, healthier life, this is the right place for you. Learn how to read your soul's history in the Akashic Records. Remove negative energy attachments from your astral body and start the process of inner and outer pain transmutation. Join Pain Transmutation Community to get started on the path of intuitive healing. Change your energetic state, manifest new and exciting experiences, re-energize your life, and build inspiring connections with others in our community.
We exist in the security and comfort of our worlds. Paved paths, lights, and manicured lawns give us peace of mind that our world has been tamed, and we are its master. But other worlds exist on the edge of our sight. On the edge of our awareness, the shadows move. The woods fill with the unblinking eyes of the nightmares our ancestors warned us about. Some of us have stumbled into these forgotten realms, whether on purpose or completely by surprise. I'm Brent Thomas. Join us on the Paranormal Portal Friday and Saturday nights from 10 p.m. to midnight Pacific Standard Time as we journey into the world of the paranormal phenomena.
Enter the Paranormal Portal if you dare. Real people, real radio.
Initiating the truth frequency.
This is Truth Frequency Radio.
Inconceivable! Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Jones here. You're listening to Iron Realm Media. I listen all the time, and it's the best truth show out there. Forget about the mainstream lying. Get your weekly dose of iron. Realm, that is. Stay woke, folks.
And welcome back to the second half of the first half of the Ironworx Truth Frequency Radio.com.
And we are back, and I'm failing epically. I was trying to open the app and look and see all the dots, but I can't make it squeeze out. I know they've changed something. I can't find how to do it anymore. Like to see the whole the whole United States kind of thing. I know I could do it before, and I know something always pops up and tells me I got to do it a different way now, but I can't do it. How do I do it?
I'm not entirely sure. I think maybe if you mash the flag or something. I forget.
I think it's something you have to go to a different setting. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Hey, I said I'd play a song, and I didn't do it. So why don't I do it? Just do it. Okay, you guys. All right, you ready? Break it down.
All around me the horizon's level, on x-axis, on y-axis, bright and early for an observation. See that building in the distance. The tears are filling up their glasses. All the ballers cry refraction. Hide their heads, they wanna drown their sorrows. Troll the hangouts, rumpus the panel. And I find it kind of funny, I find it kind of sad. The world in which we live in is the one we've never had. I find it's time to tell you, yes, you'll find it's hard to take. When people look in the distance, it's a very, very flat world. Flat world. Children going for indoctrination in the classroom, Gotta repeat what the teacher tells them. Write the answer on the paper. I went to school and I was very nervous. No one woke yet, they are still asleep. Hello teacher, tell me what you're teaching. Take a deep breath, and I raise my hand up. And I find it kind of funny, I find it kind of sad. The world in which we live in is the one we've never had. I find it's time to tell you, yes, you'll find it hard to take. When people look in the distance, it's a very, very flat world. Flat world. Flat world. Flat world.
Very nice. Very, very nice. Epic, actually. One of my favorite ever, I have to say. Now, how do I stop what I'm doing?
Sorry.
That's fine. I'm doing multiple things here. I finally got the app acting right and took a picture. And I see some people actually join my little group that I formed here. The Flat Swamps of Louisiana. I see you guys that have joined. I didn't even know. Because I don't have it turned on because it made my phone vibrate off the bed. So.
I had apparently lost mine. Phone, that is. But I did see 100.
Yeah, I did that just the other night in the yard, out in the wet dew, about to rain area, taking the trash out. Yeah, spent like 2 hours digging around the house going, okay, I know I just had it. Oh, that's nuts. Yeah, that's nuts. That's crazy. I mean, that's crazy. Let me show you what I'm seeing. Hold on. Okay, I can do this. Where is my camera? Okay, here we go. Josh, you could talk more while I'm gabbling here.
Well, I was had my finger on the button ready to transition over as soon as you pulled it up. I didn't know it was going to take
Oh yeah,
longer than instantaneously. Don't you just do things at the speed of thought?
No, sir. No, all right. None of that. You got it? You sharing it?
Nope, not yet. I'd still got to open it.
I'll find it here because I'm going to show my goo grabber too. Share. Okay, so here's what it looks like in South Carolina. Yeah, pretty crazy.
That's pretty fucking crazy.
And then here is the goo getter.
The goo getter.
Yeah, as you see, the little area tends to clog up quite quickly there. That's supposed to fall through. That was the first picture I took, and that's the second one. After I started pushing it through a little more.
Holy cow!
So yeah, it's
no bueno.
It's not. I don't know. I'm not sure I dig this situation. I will say I'm going to give it another probably week before I start complaining to the people. So
look at that, Billy Zig in chat.
What is up?
Sketches in chat. Martin Liedke in chat. Good morning.
Damn, all those good people here, and we're just
fucking around. How little can we actually contribute to a show while doing said show?
Yeah, it's bad this morning too because I didn't sleep right. I'm like Sherry. I got up probably 3 times during the night. What's up, David M? I see you in the DARPA Vizzy in South Carolina. I like that dude. You better read it quick though. It ain't gonna stay long. Twitter expelled Axel. That sucks. I don't think I've been on Twitter since like last week when I put the show. And did I even do it?
I see Daz talking about his plans with his art, saying even though no one has understood it yet, it's been to create art that is not digitized. He wants to make an underground paper zine, like an old school paper zine for analog mailboxes and Bible tract style stealth dropping.
I used to have some epic zines from like late 80s, early 90s. Really great stuff. I think I lost them in that storm on the coast when our storage thing got destroyed across the whole coastline there. But yeah, I used to have a handful of them that were pretty epic. Early stuff, like talking about bands that I loved that got huge when they were nobody. In fact, I had an article in one of them talking about this young skater. And his name was Mike Suicide, and he was a young skater, and he was hoping one day to get a band together and maybe be a singer for a band one day, and da-da-da-da-da. And so that dude wound up being the lead singer for Suicidal Tendencies. Yeah, it's pretty nuts. Pretty nuts. All right. We talked about lettuce.
We did, indeed. But I have yet to pull in the up.
Yeah, I'm working on it too. We joked about our inability to multitask. Huh? Yeah, it's not a joke. Let's see what the new science says. Okay, so apparently, according to Inc.com, wait, is that who I did the interview with? What's her name? Oh man, damn it! It's been too long ago. I'll have to go see. So apparently your brain can't handle more than 5 projects at once. They do have an infinite capacity for task. No, they do not. God, I'm fast reading, too fast. They do not have an infinite capacity for task switching, which is, I think, what we were kind of talking about earlier. Studies prove when it comes to cognitively demanding tasks like writing, strategizing, your brain only has about 4 hours a day of work in it. So the fact that you fuck off for the other 4 hours at work playing around on your phone is apparently cool. Equally convincing is all the science showing how much time and energy your brain uses up moving from one task to another. This was a multi-year investigation of 20,000 employees at a global manufacturing firm. The ideal number of projects to handle at once apparently is 5. According to, I don't see a name for this quote. Anatoly Kolichev and Tuli Hakaranen of the University of Liverpool, I'm sure I butchered those names, say there is more chance that time will be lost in being idle during multiple projects. For example, if other team members do not deliver their input on time, you can switch over to work on the task. I'm scanning too quickly here. Switch over to work on a task or different project while you wait. Working on multiple projects can help all kinds of workers to develop more effective work practices. Where did I just see? Here we go. While taking on those multiple tasks, however, you do have an upper limit of how many you can effectively handle. This is just saying the same shit over and over. I hate this. Has got to be written by a robot. I mean, that's really why I'm having a hard time scanning through here, because it keeps saying the same basic sentence in about 80 different ways now. Got it. 5 projects, hard limits, everybody works together. Yeah, I'm done. Pretty done. A few suggestions. Maybe this is something interesting in this story that turned to crap. First, specialize. If you've developed a deep expertise in the kind of work you do, juggling multiple projects is going to be easier than trying to accomplish many different tasks you have less knowledge about. Well, don't that make fucking sense? Second, make sure to try to make the projects you work on similar. Are you sitting? Isn't that not what I just read in the first freaking project? Oh, I'm over this story. We're done. We're done. Done. Move on. Really, I'm not going to keep reading the same sentence in multiple ways.
But
nope, not gotta. Not gotta. So don't do more than 5 things, I think is what the point is here. Good God. I saw Daz in chat joking around about creating a digital avatar, if you will. Let me go see if I can find his exact wording. Probably never in a million years. While I go back and looking for Daz. What do we need if there was a search in the chat to find a keyword?
There's a way to do it.
We can always drop out and create fake compliant digital versions of ourselves and stand up to the insanity. Our strength is that we know that this is just temporary. Turns out, however, sir, where's that story I just had? Technology is now available. I can move that big blocking thing. So technology is now available that will allow you to create a digital clone of someone you know and love. The idea is a soon to be passing loved one would do some interviews with this particular company. Let's see the name of the company. Hereafter AI, California-based company. The person in the actual article had his living mom and dad interview as though they were going to be passing soon, giving up anecdotal stories, hopefully giving up stories that the person had never heard before, that kind of thing. Talking about early parts of their life, perhaps, that had never been revealed. And they created these avatars, these digital avatars with the history, the memories, all the stuff that was put in to recreate this person's parents. And in talking to this group, these two people, it turned out that it was actually quite convincing. In fact, at a few different points, this person in the story says they totally forgot they were speaking to digital replicas and felt like they were speaking to their parents.
And that's why it's a bad idea.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking creepy. And then the story goes on to talk about things like, not letting go, not getting through with grief, and not moving on, and all the fucked up shit that can, trickle down from actually applying such technology. It's quite a lengthy article. When I say lengthy, I mean, whole crap.
Yeah. And not once do I see anywhere where it shows the technology. Like, give me a little video of somebody interacting with their dead relative. What does it look like? What does it sound like? What does it do? What is it? I mean, there's nothing here.
Right. Let me see. Let me. I saw something about the video. Let's see. Wow, it's way long. So, mom and dad arrived via an email attachment. I could communicate with them through the Alexa app on a phone or an Amazon Alexa device, Echo device. I was eager to hear them, but I had to wait several days because I had promised MIT Technology Reviews podcast team I'd record my reaction as I spoke to my parents' avatars for the first time. When I finally opened the file with my colleagues watching and listening on Zoom, my hands were shaking. London was in a long, cold, depressing lockdown, and I hadn't seen my actual real parents for 6 months. And then it goes through the little exchange. Alexa, open hereafter, I directed. Would you rather speak with Paul or with Jane? A voice asked. A quick bit of mental deliberation, I opted for my mom. A voice that was hers, but weirdly stiff and cold, spoke. Hello, this is Jane G, and I'm happy to tell you all about my life. How are you today? I laughed nervously. I'm well, thanks, Mom. How are you? Long pause. Good. At my end, I'm doing well. You sound kind of unnatural, I said. She ignored me and carried on speaking. This is her speaking. Before we start, here are a few pointers. My listening skills aren't the best, unfortunately, so you'll have to wait until I finish talking and ask you a question before you say something back. When it's your turn to speak, please keep your answers fairly short. A few words, a simple sentence, that type of thing, she explained. After a bit more introduction, she concluded, okay, let's get started. There's so much to talk about. My childhood, my career, my interests, which one of those sounds best? So yeah, you're fucking talking to Alexa. That's creepy. I wouldn't be able to deal with that. I wouldn't at all. So the topics were a bit limited. Undeniably a weird experience. When I talked to their virtual versions, it did keep striking this person. They could speak to their real parents easily. So they couldn't probably get the full experience from the thing without, having actually deceased people to interact with. Let's see. Story Files CEO Stephen Smith demonstrated the technology on a video call where we were joined by his mother. She had died earlier this year, but here she was on the call, sitting in a comfortable chair in her living room. What the fuck? For a brief time, I could only see her shared via Smith's screen. She was soft-spoken, with wispy hair and friendly eyes. She dispensed life advice. She seemed wise. Smith told me that his mother attended her own funeral. What the actual fuck? At the end, she said, "I guess that's it for me. Goodbye." And everybody burst into tears. She told me her digital participation was well received by family and friends. Smith said he's deeply comforted by the fact that he managed to capture his mother on camera before she passed away. So another ramification here, apparently you can video a person and have a fucking video from this group story file. Biggest issue here with this technology is the idea you can generate a single universal person. It says Justin Harrison, from another company called You, Only Virtual. Their idea is, they say that recounting memories won't capture the fundamental essence of a relationship between two people. Harrison wants to create a personalized bot that's for you and you alone. Their stuff is set to launch in 2023. They're going to allow people to build a bot by uploading someone's text messages, emails, and voice conversations. Ultimately, Harrison hopes people will feed it data as they go. Melody, Harrison's mother, has stage 4 cancer. That's what he's been doing with her. I built it by hand using 5 years of messages with her. It took 12 hours to export, and it runs to thousands of pages, he says, of his chat bot. He says the interactions with this bot are more meaningful to him than if it were simply regurgitating memories. Bot Melody uses the phrases his mother uses and replies to him in the way she would reply, calling him honey, using the emojis she would use and the same quirks of spelling. He won't be able to ask Melody's avatar questions about her life, but that doesn't bother him. The point for him is to capture the way someone communicates. Just recounting memories has little to do with the essence of a relationship, he says. So apparently, an entrepreneur named Eugenia Kaida in 2016 built what is thought to be the first bot of this kind after her friend Roman died using her text conversations with him. She later founded a startup called Replica. See, I thought that was all starting to sound familiar, and that name is. We've talked about that company back early on when they first were doing their thing. She found it a hugely helpful way to process her grief. Still speaks to Roman's bot today, especially around his birthday and the anniversary of his passing. But she warns the users that users need to be careful not to think this technology is recreating or even preserving people. I didn't want to bring back his clone, but his memory, she says. The intention was to create a digital monument where you can interact with that person, not in order to pretend they're alive, but to hear about them, remember how they were, and be inspired by them again. Just trying to pick up some more good points here. Your parents are not really there. You're talking to them, but it's not really them, says Erica Stonestreet, an associate professor of philosophy at the College of St. Benedict and St. John's University, who studies personhood and identity. Excuse me. Particularly in the first weeks and months after a loved one dies, people struggle to accept the loss and may find any remainders of that person triggering. Exactly what I was thinking. In the acute phase of grief, you get a strong sense of unreality, not being able to accept that they're gone, Thompson says. There's a risk that this sort of intense grief could intersect with or even cause mental illness, especially if it's constantly being fueled and prolonged by reminders of the person who passed away.
Yeah.
Exactly what I was thinking.
Grief is a bitch. Grief does crazy things to a brain. And when
Yes,
you start
sir.
including this shit in there, that just seems
Exactly.
sketchy is.
That's just a fucking horror movie waiting to happen. That's all this is. I was asking up mentally, had these people not seen any of the movies I've seen? Let's see. How much time we got? Lord, we're almost at a break, aren't we? Yeah, literally. I've read to a break. All right, guys. Sorry I bored you. You get the idea. Don't be a fucking robot.
And there it is. And I do believe we have been joined by a magical little guest. When I'm looking forward to getting talk to a magical little guest when I wasn't expecting to see pop in. It's good shit.
Magic.
Good shit. Stick around. We got more of the Ironworks coming up. Hour number 2, right after these brief messages. Who knows what the hell we have in store?
Hi, my name is Ella, and I'm 10 years
old.
I'm one of the millions of children born to parents suffering from the sheeple virus. Symptoms include the inability to think for oneself, the attention span of a goldfish, and a strong belief in government and the mainstream media. It is estimated that 1 out of every 2 children are being raised by parents infected with the sheeple virus. But there is a cure. For as little as 19 cents per day, you can become a TFR supporter and help children like me get their daily dose of truth. Together, we will make sure every child has protection from deception.
And then I see a picture, I say, Nancy Pelosi, well, where's her mask? And I'll tell you what, she must have treated that beauty salon owner pretty badly. She uses the salon, and the salon turned her in. I was set up. Nancy, you're not supposed to get set up. I was set up. Nancy, you're not supposed to get set up. You must wear your mask. You have to wear your mask. You must wear your mask. You have to wear your mask. I was set up. Nancy, you're not supposed to get set up. How much do they hate Nancy Pelosi? It's the big crazy Nancy. Just like the biggest story. Highly overrated person. Let me just say, they just turned off the camera because they don't want me saying that. And the salon turned her in. If she was set up, then she shouldn't be leading. You know what she should have done, honestly? She should have said, I made a mistake. And then she made a terrible mistake. I was set up. Nancy, you're not supposed to get set up. I was set up. Nancy, you're not supposed to get set up. You must wear your mask. You have to wear your mask. You must wear your mask. You have to wear your mask. I was set up. Nancy, you're not supposed to get set up.
As it turns out, it wasn't set up. So I take responsibility for falling for the setup. I don't wear a mask when I'm washing my hair. Do you wear a mask when you're washing your hair? I've been there many, many times. I always have a mask. Since we passed the bill, I always have a mask. Now, I just had my hair washed. I just came out of the bowl. Now, I just had my hair washed, and that's all I'm going to say.
I was set up. Nancy, you're not supposed to get set up. I was set up.
You are now tuned into the truth frequency.
We are TFR.
Truth Frequency Radio.
Good morning.
what is dark matter?
Okay, we don't know.
That's great. That's why it's called dark.
It's exactly.
Everyone knows all reputable information comes from random people on the internet. Tell me things, internet. The Earth is flat. It's like school in your hand.
Okay, dark matter is something we do not know what it is. We believe the dark matter is there, but we have never detected it. Well, what I'm afraid of course, is that there is no dark matter out there.
There was one?
There is no dark matter out there. We need to think really hard.
Hi, this is Alan. I like Ironworx because it's where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
I love Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zack. It's like sitting in your front room having a cosy chat with your best friends.
Hi, it's Diva here, and I just want you to know that Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zack, it's definitely my favourite dose of reality. Come join the family and keep it flat.
Why sleep in when you could get your dose of iron in the morning? Listen to the Ironworx on TFR.
This is Enlightened Dawn. Roses are red, violets are blue. Iron Realm Media is the best on the plane. To the show, I will forever be true. You guys are truly the best, and I love you guys. I'm so thankful to have you in my life.
Do you like listening to space letters from Never a Straight Answer? Then tune in to The Ironworx with Zack, Walter, and Josh. Break clear of the fear on The Ironworx and become an Iron Scout.
I'm starting off fresh, and I feel good. I look good. I smells good. I am good.
And welcome back to the first half of the second half of The Ironworx. Kicking off right now. And I see...
Howdy ho.
Howdy ho.
So you promised joinings and things.
I do see one. I do see an Andrew B. somewheres in here.
I do see him.
Yep.
Good morning, Andrew.
All right. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning,
how are you doing, sir?
I don't know what happened last time I tried to call in, why the audio wasn't working. I don't know what the hell was going on, but
I know I had seen you like probably the night before at another show, and you were fine. And we, I think, mentioned that day that there was no reason for your audio to be a problem, except when you start messing with the fucking Iron Realm, the gremlins tend to come out.
Well, hopefully everyone is all good now. So, I've got just a couple things here. First of all, weed grinders. I've never been into them. I just use scissors instead. It seems easier. They just, weed grinders get clogged up real easy. So I don't know. This is my personal thing, but
absolutely, everybody's got their preference. I had a buddy who used to argue with me that the only way to do it was by finger. That even cutting it with scissors would make it taste different in a joint. And I'm like, dude, you're out of your brain. But he may have had a point to keep staying there versus to keep getting stuck to scissors. I don't know.
I watch a channel sometimes on YouTube called Ganjier, and it's this idea that like a sommelier for wine, sort of a wine expert that knows how to help you enjoy your wine and pair your wine and to best pour your wine and drink your wine and all this good stuff. A Ganjier does the same, but with ganja. And I was listening to this guy talk about the art of rolling a joint, and he says the same, that breaking it up with your fingers is the best, because you don't want it all to be like necessarily even a fine, fluffy grind. You want like large chunks, because as that heat goes through, it's going to burn those terps, and that's the flavor you're going to get, are those little chunks of weed that are in there.
Yeah, and that's how Chad used to break it up, exactly like that, big old pieces. And I'm like, dude, it's going to have all them big pregnant hunks all out the side.
Yeah,
that's how he would do it, and it would be pretty damn tasty. But my thing is, I've always been a puss because I never smoked cigarettes. I always had a, overprotective about my lungs and my voice because I like to sing, and my mom was a respiratory therapist, so that was always in my head. So the first time somebody pulled out a bong, and I'm like, wait, what is that? I don't have to burn my throat every time I want to get high? Oh, sign me up. And from that day, literally forward, if it was a choice between aquafication in any other format, I'm out going getting the ice. I'm ready to go. That's how I do it, because it again just cools it, and I know all the things that happen. It removes stuff. Well, it does take out some bad shit too. Anyway, but I'm all about a little gurgle in my day.
Hey, so I got an idea, and I think I figured out a way to use the system against itself to help, the whole community.
Nice.
And now this might seem like a very, I don't know, obtuse kind of way to do it. I'm not sure about all the logistics on it. I've never created a channel on, done a video for YouTube or Rockfin or anything like that. But, because I don't know anything about video editing or any of that crap. So I'm going to end up taking one of Jaren's consultation classes after his summit, and he's going to show me all about that. And what I'm going to do with it at the beginning, because I don't have a presence on YouTube yet, and they don't really know who I am. So what I'm going to do, and I encourage everyone to do the same thing, is create a NASA fanboy channel. Just put up Space Channel fucking stuff, okay? And then you can get monetized. And then you can take all that money and put it right back into this community, not their fucking community. So use it against themselves.
I've considered similar things. Because I see a lot of First Amendment auditors out there running like 5-6 different channels. And I've often wondered if it's the way they do their shadow banning is like by IP address. So even if you're running 7 different channels with 7 different subjects in hopes that maybe just one of those you can post some truths on it, I don't know that they're not blocking it by IP address, so they're all getting the same sort of shadow ban. But I don't know.
Use a VPN.
Do what?
A VPN. I have one.
Oh. Not a bad idea. I probably should have started using one a long time ago, but
they're real cheap.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah, it's like $35 for like 2 years or something like that. That's what I pay.
Damn, that is cheap as shit.
Drop a link. That's cheap as shit, because that's not what I'm saying. That's why I'm currently without one, is all the ones I had ran out of their little promo period, and now it's gotten a little ridiculous.
Yeah, I'll drop a link in chat right now.
Absolutely.
For what I use. I mean, there's tons of them out there, but I'll just show you.
Right, and I've looked at a few, and they all seem to. The only way they get it like that cheap is doing the long 4 and 5 year plan. So, but that's not bad for a couple of years.
Yeah, so the one I use is called Private Internet Access. I'll drop it in chat right now. Here, I'll drop it in the Skype chat. Where the hell did the Skype chat go?
Yeah. So
you can just download a VPN like that, Private Internet Access. I would drop it in the YouTube chat, but I think if I do that right now, it'll probably cause like some sort of a problem with the audio.
I can share it right to there. Boom.
That's just the one I use. I've been using it for about the last 5 years, and the reason I started using it was because I was downloading a whole bunch of torrents and stuff, and then I got like movies and software, and I got a notice from Comcast. I'm sorry, it was AT&T at the time, and they said, "Oh, well, you're going to have to take this like 1 hour course to show why you shouldn't be downloading pirated software." I was like, "Oh fuck!" So I figured out, okay, well, if I can mask my IP address, then no problem, and I've never had a problem since. So if you do that, and I think that if people, like everybody, were to create just like a NASA fanboy, like, kitten, puppies and kittens fucking videos, and just put them on your channel and have nothing to do with flat earth or any conspiracy whatsoever, and then all of a sudden you get monetized. And I don't know how that works, how people get paid from YouTube or whatever, but allow ads on the channel and everything. You don't even have to talk. Just put the videos up. Get monetized, and then put all the money right back into the community. So I just think that's a good idea because I've heard people talk about it in the past. We got, like Jaren was saying, like, well, if all he did was do like Christian videos, he would just be monetized and make a whole bunch of money. And And I was like, oh, okay, well, what if everybody did that? And then just put the money right back in.
I think that Jaron would have a large enough online presence that he might have a hard time doing religious videos. That people would be able to go back and say, well, look at this, and then there's this. And even if he were to mask his voice, I think that his cadence would be enough to identify him by if he were doing religious videos with a masked voice.
Right, well, it's just an idea. I don't know how all the logistics would work on that, but I'm just trying to figure out ways to use the system against itself, because there's always possibilities.
Yeah, no, I love the idea, though. It's probably worth even a shot. I could do a little bunny channel. I could do even, because it's the standard for what qualifies as a story these days is so low that it doesn't take much of an AI bot to rewrite a couple of sentences of some bullshit that you want to say to make it sound less like you and more like a stupid ass bot, which they'll just put out anywhere. And then you could just take an AI text to voice, make him read the article, throw that video up as you scroll through and the AI bot reads it, call it a video. That should be easy as hell.
Yeah, and anyone can just go on to like Proton Mail and or Gmail or whatever else and just create a brand new email, go onto YouTube, create a brand new account, and essentially if you have a VPN, Google and YouTube aren't really going to know who you are. So it's pretty simple at that point.
Yeah. I'm with Enlightened Dawn, though. I wish I was just more PC savvy. I'm just so technologically ignorant. I love a good Friday morning.
There you go. All right, looks like Snoop Zombie joined in, so I'm going to go ahead and mute myself unless I have something else to say later on.
Oh, right on. And I see we are joined by a Snoop Zombie Snoop.
What's up?
What's happening?
Oh, good. I'm not auto muted. No, he doesn't need to mute up. I was calling in specifically to put in my 2 cents on that subject. So I've heard Jaron talk about that in the past, making like a fake channel or whatever. And with him suggesting to do everybody kind of having their own fake channel, that, and then you suggesting the possibility of them shadow banning based off of IP address, that makes me wonder if we all started doing that, even like us that aren't content creators, and we all started doing stuff like that, we could see how much they really are gonna shadow ban us without any kind of context to it. Like, let's say I did, kitties and puppy dogs, and you did, your rabbits, and then somebody did a weather channel, and just, random off the wall stuff, but we had, 500 or 600 people doing it, and we all kind of kept in contact about it. That would kind of, if none of us ever went anywhere with that, with literally zero correlation to any conspiracies at all, that would prove right there that most of, if not all of the troll channels, like not the chat troll channels, but like the Psyman and Not a Professor and all those assholes, they're propped up 100%. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we all try and start stuff using the algorithm to our advantage with no connection to any kind of conspiracies, but all of us are using our internet for, in the past, we've all been in all these chats. We've all been on all these, messaging groups and this, that, and the other, all talking about conspiracies. To me, that would kind of show that, yeah, those guys are for sure propped up. If we're all trying to do it organically with, cute puppy and kitty videos and stuff, and it's not working, that says something. I would think.
Nope, I think you're right. I think it definitely would say something and speak to the way that they can get so many subscribers so fast. And just
Yeah, and the reason I think it would be a good idea too is because there's like that, the Brian Mullen Force the Line project, which would cost many millions of dollars to complete. Well, over the course of maybe a few years of doing YouTube videos that are just completely pro NASA and cute puppies and stuff, put that into like a GoFundMe or a Kickstarter or whatever you want to call it. I'm not sure how that works, but over the course of a few years, get a significant amount of money to start doing these big projects that we don't have the funding for right now. Just an idea.
Yeah, I'd like to think that there's a way to do it. We've talked for years and years about a way to get funding to do the shit that we thought needed to be done, but I'll be damned if it never goes beyond much more than talk. It's hard to get a sugar mama or a sugar daddy that's willing to finance your existence so that you can live out your passions. Fortunately, I'm just here as a prostitute trying to pimp out my time to the highest bidder.
Yep. Yep. Have y'all ever heard of, depending on who you are and where you're from, there's two ways of saying it, but there's a state park down here in Fort Myers I call it Coruscant. Other people call it Croatian. It was a guy, if I'm not mistaken, it was like the late 1800s, because I'm pretty sure he died in the early 1900s. But it was this dude who had like generic white guy from like up north somewhere, right? Like Tom Smith was his real name. And he like kind of snapped a little bit, but his family was super wealthy, I guess. I don't fully remember the story. And I was trying to find the PDF for it before I called in. But he decided he wanted to start like kind of a religious, like almost Scientology / Mormonism cult thing down here. And he moved him and like, it was like, I don't know, like 20 or 30 other guys that were like the upper echelon of this group. And then like 600 people that were like the congregation. And then like another like 500 people that were like third party connected. Like they weren't part of the church or whatever, but they were like connected to the church. Like how, I guess, in the same way that certain religious sects use on their Saturday off, they have white boys that do things for them with technology. I don't want to say who I'm talking about, but that should be enough. But anyways, this dude, he was a globe denier, like early globe denier. But I just think it's interesting, not that I agree with any of it in the way that he says it, but he was one of those we live in a geode guys, like the inner earth theory, I guess, or whatever.
Yeah.
And if you go to the park, now I haven't actually tried to talk to any of the rangers out there about it, but if you go to the park and just ask them about it, these dudes, it's like these old, volunteer rangers, these old retired, like most of them are military or ex-cop or whatever, but they're real cool. And they're like NASA fanboys, but for this guy. They just love talking about it, and they'll tell you all about the history of the place and but enthusiastically, which is cool. And the best part is at the end of, so he thought there would be convexity, not curvature, right? Because we're inside a geode. So he had all these experiments and stuff, and they even have like a diagram of what science said should have happened. It's a perfect flat earth proof right there in the middle of this little tiny state park in Fort Myers, Florida. It's the telescope or the leveling system he used, and this dude's hypothesis that we should see convexity, and then science says we're going to see rotundity, and then what his results were, and his results show like an 8-mile flat stretch. But the guys, when they're telling you about it, they get all horned up and they're like, yeah, the best part about it is you can't prove them wrong. Like you can say that the earth is round using these proofs, but you can't necessarily say that he's wrong using those same proofs. And it's like when they start going about that, I want to just be like, so, I could say the same thing and say the earth's flat and you can't use any measurable evidence to prove me wrong. But like, I know that the way these guys are, they're all going to be like, you're crazy. Like,
let me see some ID.
Yeah, right. You guys know the joke about the two medicine men and the flat earther that walk into a bar?
No.
All right. So an Aztec medicine man walks into a bar. And I'm probably going to get the beliefs wrong because I can't remember in reality what they believe. But the bartender, and he's like full decked out. And the bartender's like, oh man, you got some crazy gear on. What are you? And the guy's like, oh, I'm Aztec medicine man. He's like, oh yeah, what do you believe? And he goes, we believe that the world is atop the back of a crocodile swimming through the great sea of, whatever. And the bartender's like, oh, wow, man, that's amazing. And a few seconds later, another, a Mayan guy walks in. Same thing, all dressed out and everything. And the guy's like, oh, wow, that's some crazy get up you got there. What do you believe? And he's like, oh, we believe that we're on the back of a turtle floating through space being carried by elephants. The guy's like, wow, that's amazing. Gives him his drink. Flat earther walks into the bar just looking normal. The guy's like, for shits and giggles, what do you believe? The flat earther looks at the bartender and goes, I believe the earth is flat. And the bartender goes, get the fuck out of my bar right now.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Right.
Yeah, I've heard that one in the past. It's always a classic. It's been rewritten in different ways, but yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
But so I just shared something else. I'm not sure if this is something people would be interested in actually looking at, but it's mind-boggling to me. I love math. Pretty good at math, so I study this kind of stuff. Very weird, esoteric type of math. It's called the chaos game. If people have never heard of this before, it is fucking weird, but it's sort of like I don't know. You kind of have to watch it to understand. I can't really explain it, but I'm not sure if you guys wanted to check this out or not.
Yeah, I think
I'm down.
I can probably pop it up here. Give me just a second.
It's about 8 minutes, but you don't have to watch all of it. But it's a completely random. So you know how the old saying, "There's order out of chaos."
Of course.
Well, that's what this is. But you can do it yourself, and it's been modeled many, many times.
Shut up, Shopify. All right. Let's see. First things first.
And if you try and do it by yourself, like with a pen and paper, I mean, you can do it. It's just going to take you, forever to do. So that's like 3/4 of the way through the video.
And I muted. Yeah, I guess you can link up a timestamp so that it plays.
Oh, I didn't know that was.
Yeah, no, it's not a big deal.
Oops.
The game is going to involve 3 dots. They could be anywhere. I said I was going to put them in a triangle. That's kind of difficult to avoid. This is not particularly meant to be an equilateral triangle. Let's call this A, B, and C. And I'm going to put a starting point just randomly on the paper. And all we're going to do is roll this lovely dice. Dice, who cares? To decide which point to go towards. And we're going to, whatever point we choose, we're going to go halfway. So let's call A 1 or 2. If we get a 1 or 2, we'll go halfway towards A. And this is going to be 3 or 4. And C can be 5 or 6. And so I just rolled a 2, so I need to go halfway to the point that has been chosen at random, which is A in this case. So we could measure this for the sake of speed. I'm just going to go roughly halfway. I think you can believe that. If we're on a line there, we're going to go put a dot there. and we're going to keep doing this for a while. We're iterating, so we're repeating. We get the last result and work from that. But the start point could be anywhere. I could have put the start point outside the triangle, and I could still head towards one of these dots. Let's just see what happens when I keep rolling the dice. I've just rolled a 2 again, so that was the dot I had before, and I've gone halfway from the previous dot, and that's my halfway point. So if I roll this one again, 1. I wish I'd rigged this now. From this dot, the last dot I had, halfway towards the 1, so we're just aiming towards 1. This is unlikely to keep going, but I don't know, place your bets now. 4. 4 is the B dot, so I've got to kind of from the previous dot halfway on this line is about there. And I've jumped
All right, let's put a little pause on this and we'll pick it up on the other side of the break. Stick around. We got more of the Ironworks, more from the Number File, more from Andrew B., more from Zombie Snoop, more from Walter, and I'll just sit back quietly and let it all happen. Anyway, stick around. We'll be right back.
The first key to doing better is find out. To change your life, really, you need ideas. There isn't anything an idea can't change. Schoaf taught me the major problem is lack of an idea, not a problem. At first, I didn't have any money. I said to Mr. Schoaf, I don't have any money. He said, that's not a problem. Now, see, up until then, I always thought it was. Right? I was confused. He said, no, the problem is lack of an idea on how to create money and wealth. It isn't lack of money, it's lack of ideas. So if you get the ideas, see, you can change anything. Now, to get ideas, you need a constant study of finding out. Now, Schoaf also said, when you find out something that works, put the information in your journal. Don't use your head for a filing cabinet. Put it in your journal so that you can do the next best thing. Repetition, repetition, repetition. Go over it. And if you repeat it, go over it, sure enough, someday, some mysterious day, the idea takes root, starts to grow, and shows up in your bank account, and your dress, and your personality, and your lifestyle. But capture the
It's
ideas
amazing
in your
how
journal.
people have been raving about ILife all over Facebook. They've been posting their testimonials just because they want to get the word out because it's worked so well for them. If you're not familiar with ILife, it's a 99% pure CBD oil. But the secret is the synergy between the hemp and the ayahuasca vine, the non-psychoactive component of the ayahuasca tea. We recently received an email from a wife whose husband has Parkinson's. For the first time, he's been able to sleep through the entire night. Another customer reported that they're no longer using NSAIDs because their tennis elbow has been relieved with ILife. The reports have been phenomenal and much more than we ever expected. Everyone should have access to this. That's why if you head on over to ILife.com right now and use coupon code TFR, we'll give you $5 towards your order. And we'll even ship it worldwide. That's ILife.com. AYA life.com.
Greetings, Earth Explorers. My name is Brooks Agnew, and I am your host on X Squared Radio every Sunday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on the Truth Frequency Radio Network. This is where the past meets the future. We explore the mysteries of the universe and of the Earth. We might go a little past your imagination, but have no fear. You will be safely traveling with us. We will dissolve the propaganda of dangerous people with dangerous plans for the planet. We will discuss the latest technologies and challenges for humankind. We will discover the safest place for you to stand when the thinkings and doings of mankind come flying apart, and how you can be one of the people that helps put it back together. Join us.
No hate, no hype, no fear. We are TFR, your protection from deception.
So real quick test. Are you hearing me?
I'm hearing you.
Because I seem to like
Yeah, I
every
hear
time I'm looking at my mic and it keeps going down to 0 every time I close the app. I mean, not close the app, but mute it. It goes to 0 and won't come back up. I have to turn it up. See, is that there? Is that different? That's
Nope.
different. That's different. No?
Nope.
What is it doing?
I
love
no
updates
idea.
for no reason. Anyway, we were watching some crazy shit. I've actually seen this demonstration. It is insane.
It is insane. Yeah, let's jump back to it. I see we are joined by David M. We shall say hello to him just momentarily.
One back towards A. So we're getting there. And I'm going to just keep doing this. So you've got the idea, I think, now. From the previous dot, we go towards one of these. 2. Your dice is rigged, Brady. 6. Excellent. We've gone all the way. This was the dot. Kind of halfway is there. 6. 1. Back up here. 2. 5. All the way down here. I'm going to do this a lot now, Brady. But maybe this would be worth speeding up.
So for those of you watching this on the radio,
what
we have here is a gentleman with a big sheet of paper, and he's
it's not that exciting, but interesting things are happening.
We've
created kind of some lines.
based on random rolls of the dice.
It's possible that something interesting would happen if I could do this.
And what it becomes after he does this for I think 1,000 rolls or so is pretty freaking insane. I'll put the photo of it up as our show description picture.
Let's park that issue for another video, perhaps. If I could get a computer to roll the dice for me and put the dot on, then we could see what happens.
I also dropped the link, the wiki link in chat for. I saw there was a little Hollow Earth discussion going on.
Yeah, so I saw that too in chat.
Yeah,
pretty epic.
So I dropped the link specifically for it's called the Coruscant Unity, is the park, and it's like their belief system and all that, how it was started. When I actually have a book upstairs specifically about it. What? That's all just random rolls of a dice?
Yes, it is, my friend.
Oh, it gets way trippier than that, too.
Oh, wait. Hold on. Right.
What?
So what's happening for those watching this on the radio is we are slowly but surely seeing this intricate triangle base, beyond measure intricate pattern emerge. Again, I'll show the picture as our description there today. But at this point, we're at what? 3,700 iterations of.
Is it 6-sided dice?
I don't know. I don't remember. I think it was just 6. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a 6. Now, is it doing those triangles because it's inside a triangle? Because he used 3 starting points like that, or
I don't remember.
Is that just what happened this particular time?
Yeah, so what would end up happening is now the dots on the screen are a certain size, but if the dots were just like a single pixel,
right,
the triangles would just be infinitely small.
Right. I was starting to see that. I can't believe I've never seen this before. I'm into dice,
right.
Dungeons and Dragons is my jam, or at least it was 10, 12 years ago. I still carry a 20 in my pocket everywhere I go.
That's crazy. That's awesome, man. My son played a lot after after he got, in his teens, he got into it, and him and his buddy, my best friend's son, got to playing together because there we go. He's doing a different shape. I thought he did.
Oh.
Them make patterns? Do they go?
So he's asking what would happen if you change the parameters? Would it instead of halfway using 3/4, or if you use a starting point being a different shape and all that? Excuse me. And again, we'll link. I'll put this video as the link on our show description that you guys can click into and actually watch as this happens, because as it builds, it's mind blowing, and it gets complicated and takes it to a slightly more complicated area. Anyway, as you said, we have been joined by David M. What is up, David? How are you this morning, sir? Okay, we haven't been.
Oh, full house.
Sure.
Full house.
There he is.
I had it on mute on purpose. I'm trying to roll some joints over here.
Look, that's crazy.
What? It's a leaf.
Yeah, a fern. It's
like that's like a piece of a fern.
Famous math thing that creates that. Yeah, there it is.
What?
So the world's a fractal. That's what we get down to.
Well, I mean, what happens when you eat mushrooms? I mean, you see the fractal.
You see the fractal.
Yeah.
Yes, you
do.
It's
right there, hidden in plain sight, you know?
Man.
There's also a much more detailed, complicated video that I would love to share one of these days. It's quite a bit longer. And I found this out just by looking at math videos and stuff. It's called the Mandelbrot set. I'm not sure if anyone's heard of that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That is fucking mind-blowing. And mathematicians, even that are atheists, even call it the thumbprint of God.
Yep.
Well, math is the language of the universe, and sacred geometry is the thoughts of the creator.
Mandelbrot is that infinite zoom, right? Where the computer just keeps looking down inside itself.
I used to have it on my phone. My first smartphone had an app I could go to that would go, like, I could zoom forever. It never would stop.
Yeah.
That was before Google bought Android and it fucked it all up for everybody.
So when everything first started, I heard from a person. I didn't hear about flat earth online like most people did. I heard it from a buddy of mine that I worked with, and he gave me no context on the subject. He just walked by and was like, the earth is flat. Well, he goes, what if the earth was flat? And I was like, I wouldn't put it past him to lie about some shit like that. And he was like, the earth is flat, and just walked away, and just blew my mind, because I was instantly like, this dude's right. So one of my first things was like, okay, I had already been calling NASA's bullshit for years. So I was like, so what is the sky? What are we looking at when we see stars, galaxies, and universes, stuff like that? Because I know even though we don't see them in the light that NASA shows us, we see that stuff. What if the sky is just a Mandelbrot screen?
That's what I've
like
said.
Infinitely zoomable star pattern.
That's what I've
We
always
just talking about that last week, man. Exactly. That's so awesome. Yep.
That you think you could travel there because you have an infinite zoom, so you assume that there's three-dimensional space, but it's a fractal zoom, just like the Mandelbrot. Yeah, I've said that for a long time, that's what I think the sky is. And that's what they're zooming in on with their telescope.
Sorry.
With the Sophia telescope and all that. Yeah, that's exactly what I think. Well, I don't know if that's exactly what I think, but that's one of the things that I think could be going on.
Uh-huh.
I also, I don't put it out of the realm of possibility that the stars could be crystals on the ceiling.
Yep. Or literal stars in jars.
Could be stars in jars.
Un big jar.
One big ass jar. Yep.
You know, the thing that I never heard anyone talk about for a while that I was always like, it was in the back of my mind, and then I heard David Weiss start talking about it. It's like, if all the stars are these, trillions and, miles away, why are they all the same size in the sky?
See, I thought that when I was a kid, when they started telling us stars were so far away and all this in school, I was like, wouldn't we see them at like different sizes though?
Well, see, I thought similar, and then I even took it further as I really got deep into wanting to be an astronaut and taking the classes and all that crap, and this whole concept of us seeing the light of dying stars. And it's like, okay, so if that would be true, then the sky would be a whitewash all fucking night long. That's all it would be. If there's an infinite number of stars and an infinite variety and infinite fucking directions, then we would have an infinite amount of fucking light coming from those infinite stars, infinitely dying, infinitely at us.
They're talking about those stars are
Fucking
dying from like thousands of years ago, not from when you're seeing them at the moment, right?
Right, and that's my point, is if this has been going for billions and billions of years, then we would see a whitewash. Either it would be a fucking Pink Floyd laser show from the motion they
Right.
tell us we're doing, or it would be a whitewash from all the dyed star light that never stops coming our way from a bazillion years ago because it's been a bazillion, that whole idea. It's like, no, it doesn't make sense. None of it makes
It's called Olber's paradox.
What was that?
Olber's paradox.
Olber's paradox.
Yeah, if there's an infinite amount of, or all these stars in the sky. Yeah, you have to look it up. It's basically saying, like, if there's so many stars in the sky, why is there darkness at all?
Right. Yeah, I mean, that makes perfect sense.
Yep.
It would at least be shades of brightness. Like, you would have little spots that are a little less bright and a little more bright, but it would, like you said, it would be like total whitewash.
And they even have an interesting little animation to show everybody. Hang on. Let me share that. It's pretty epic. Again, if you're watching this on the radio, sorry, but yeah, look at the little animation over here. As the, infinite numbers fill out and the gaps close up, it's pretty much a fucking wash of light. Anyway, all right, I'll stop sharing.
Jeez.
You know how they worked it out?
Math.
Dark matter.
Dark matter. That's what's blocking all the excess light. Right.
Seance.
Was Bill Nye involved?
I wouldn't doubt it.
Jeez.
Oh my goodness. What's up, Mike Stellium 7 in chat? I sent you a link last night, sir. So go check that out if you haven't. Anyway, so I'll share it with you guys. How about that? Look at this thing I found. I didn't find it. I mean, I didn't go out and explore the world, and there it was, but I did find it in a story. I was like, that has to be something, right?
Is anybody
It
in
is
chat
called
in Greenville right now?
I saw Awesome Austin. It was in there way earlier, and I assumed he hadn't gone to bed yet.
BCB.
Nah,
I know he's there.
He said they were leaving at 7.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Brian's there?
I'm pretty sure Brian's there. Yes.
Sorry, Walt. Go ahead.
No, I'm just yapping. Here we go. Did I share it? Oh, God dog it. Start sharing.
And yeah, Brian is there. He did a little bit of a live stream yesterday when he was getting drunk with some people. It was pretty funny.
So this is Sigiriya, the Lion Rock of Sri Lanka, formerly Sri Lanka. Oh, I'm sorry, the old joke. Anyway, so yeah, here's this thing. There, Mike, go tell us what that is. I know you can't get there, man. I'm just saying it's got to be something that just sticks out like a sore thumb, or like a lion rock. There's a whole like civilization built on top of it, and there's all these weird areas that look really strange and don't fit in with anything around it. And yeah, it's pretty crazy. I sent you the link. Go check it out, sir. I'll use that as part of our show stuff too. Boy, this show stuff's going to be really busy today.
So, but yeah, speaking of like, titans and mountains, James Grounded Extract said something on one of the Melodome streams the other day, and he said it in the exact same way that I would have said it, like just quick, and then changed the subject pretty much. But they were talking, I don't even remember what they were talking about because it wasn't really relevant, but he was like, well, I think that some of the old buildings could have just been placed here when this place was created. And then was like, but that's off the wall. I'm like, change the subject. And I've been thinking that literally since I heard Mark in the Clues, when Mark was like, or shortly after the Clues, Mark made the analogy that this place is like a terrarium. Like people kept bitching about the lava system. And like, well, what about the lava system? Is that artificial too? And Mark was like, yeah, this place is a terrarium. Everything's controlled. When you make a terrarium for your iguana, you don't leave something like a lava volcano flow to happenstance. Like, you're going to control that flow of heat. You put the heat mat under the sand. You put the hot rock in there. You put the heat lamp over the top of the cage. You know what I'm saying? Like, every aspect of this place is controlled. And so for me, not that I'm never on anything am I ever like, all of this is always this. Like, all mountains are crystals, all mountains are titans, all mountains are melted buildings. No, some of those things might be some of those things. But so for me, I was like, well, what if some of these buildings were never lived in? What if they weren't mud flooded? What if they were just placed here the same way we put castles and sunken ships in our fish tanks? Not all of them, just some of them, just decoration, you know.
So there was a video just ran across my YouTube face not too long ago, yesterday, day before. Didn't watch it, but it was talking about present day right now across the country in cities. There are fake buildings with doors that don't open and windows that are blacked out, and they're just buildings there. And I guess there was
power stations, though, Josh.
Do what?
Some of those are power stations. Like I have many pictures of buildings that I've been inside that are exactly like you described, and they're like power stations and stuff.
Yeah, I need to go back, see if I can't find that video again and watch it. But
where were you talking about? Where was it, Josh?
It was on YouTube.
It's everywhere. It's in every city.
Oh,
you could find them in every city. There's a certain type of buildings that they make. They're false buildings. They have like blacked out windows, whatever. Many things, but a lot of them are identical. Like you'll see them worldwide, and you'll be like, "Oh, this is like not this architecture style or this architecture style." They're all the same, literally.
Well, I know in like, I can't remember where it was, either Texas or California, somewhere where there's some oil derelicts in the middle of a city. There's fake houses built around the old oil derelicts, oil pumps, the like things you always see in movies that like crank like a slow ass piston. And then I know in London there's fake condos and like fake wall fronts that cover up not used train stations anymore or tunnel stations anymore.
I don't know who's talking. Is that Snoop? I've been in those train stations in London, and those go down multiple levels. And like I've seen people showing like on YouTube recently, like here's level 1. I'm telling you that those go down like 9 levels, like floor after floor, different areas, different types of places, different types of whatever. But all of England is just built on top of old whatever, but stuff is still active currently below. The guy's like showing on YouTube, he's like, look at the power line going out to the top. And I'm like, yeah, they're getting their power from the top of the surface and powering the underground. You know what I mean? And people are just like, what are you talking about? There's stuff below that. You know?
Have you guys ever heard of the Winchester Mystery House?
Oh, yeah. That lady was nuts.
Yeah. I drive by it every single day when I go to work.
Do you really? That's awesome.
Yeah, it's all right off the 101 freeway. Anyways, yeah, it's check that out. And you can go there. I mean, they have like Halloween stuff there. It's creepy.
Didn't a witch tell her that she was being haunted by all the victims of her family's weapons, and that if she built the house all crazy like that, it would confuse the ghost and they'd leave her alone?
Yeah, that's the story. That her husband is the one that created the Winchester rifle that was responsible for killing a whole bunch of Native Americans, and she thought, she got super paranoid and thought that the ghosts were in her house. So, and she was super wealthy, so she just had like this non-stop construction project going on, building false staircases, false doors. Like a staircase that would just go up to like the ceiling and it would just stop there. And it has like 100 rooms in the house, and she would try
I've watched
different one every night.
Documentaries about that place. She was a crazy person for sure. Well, when you got money like that, they call it eccentric, right?
Right. If you can
Karen
make your
was
fantasies manifest into some sort of reality, then you're just eccentric. But if you just walk around talking about them, then they'll just lock you up.
You're a crazy person.
And then there's something else too that I've tried walking out there, but it's kind of difficult to get to. It's also illegal now. It's called the Sunken City in Newark, California. I used to actually live down the street from it. Yeah, it's part of the city that actually started to sink into the ground, and now it's basically just almost completely covered just by mud.
What?
You know that?
Yeah,
you know that majority of California in the 1890s was underwater. Like Central California was like 30 feet underwater.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, whenever they had some type of event, and you could look it up. It's like on Wikipedia or wherever, like whatever you find their narrative. But they say during that era, like some great event happened, like in Canada, and it came all the way down through California.
Yeah, Lake Cannabis or whatever.
What's a lot of theories, but they probably broke a reservoir, and it seems like what they do to all these towns is they bury them underwater.
There's a lot of trippy stuff about our world that is still, we have theories about it. Like off the coast of Japan, there's those like temples and stuff that are,
Isn't that the Bimini Road, or is that one of the ones in the Atlantic?
This is right off the coast of Japan somewhere. I'm not really sure.
Yeah,
but it's like 70 feet underwater, and you have
there's some pyramids and then like a long ass like road.
I mean, we clearly live on the mountaintops of whatever.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Especially like in like those places like Japan or Hawaii or any of those islands, they're clearly at the top of the mountain. So there's definitely stuff below,
Yeah, what I think is really weird too is like the pyramids. I've been looking into the pyramids an awful lot lately, just trying to get some more information on it. And Eric Dubay actually did a really great video on it, just showing just the intricacy and like how would you. I've worked in construction for over 20 years, so I know exactly what it takes to get into building something like that. And it's just mind-boggling. Like I understand the Great Wall of China, that was built. I mean, they can do it today, but the pyramids, we don't know how they did it. I mean, we could probably do it if we had, 25,000 slaves, but there's a lot of stuff about our world that
I would say that it was all poured into place, and I think it would be really easy to build because they still do build pyramids now, and America has pyramids that are built in the last 100 years that exist. There's a lot of pyramids in Los Angeles, in cemeteries. I mean, they build them all the time. I mean, I don't think that the tech is gone or missing or whatever. I just think it's just kind of forgotten.
Well, I watched this dude move, I think they were like 10-ton boulders in his backyard with just a couple pieces of wood. I mean, it's insane. And then down here in South Florida, we got this place called the Coral Castle, which most flat earthers have heard about.
Oh, I want to
This dude, nobody knows how this dude built it. I used to live in Homestead, Florida. It's like 20 minutes from the Coral Castle. This dude was like 90 years old and frail and like dying when he built this place. And he moved it like 5 miles or some shit after he was done building it. Like
he built it in the wrong area, according to the literature, that he wanted to be more on like a Bermuda Triangle energy point.
Right.
So get over.
He just picked it up and moved it.
Well, we got about 2 minutes left before we got to get out of here, but I want to thank you guys for coming to hang out this morning. I really dig it.
I'm really glad that, you've offered the link to so many people to give us somewhere to come and chit chat like this for a few minutes.
It's so necessary to be able to externalize some of the shit we get going on in our heads.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, and anyone that's going out to Flattoberfest, I wish I could be there, but I can't. Take videos, take pictures, share them online, Telegram, whatever. Just let the voice be heard.
Definitely.
Yeah, I would agree. I'm super bummed that I can't go. I thought for sure I was going to be in North Carolina already at this point this year and be able to make it, but I hope everybody has an amazing time out there. And safe trips. I know Austin, he said last night in his live stream he was leaving at 7. So if him and Chris and them are about to get on the road. Everybody needs to be safe and take lots of pictures of your app on the way.
But yeah, next year I'll definitely be there.
Walt.
Okay, yeah, I've been like talking for the last 30 minutes and nobody's been hearing me. I don't know what's going on.
That's so weird.
Anyway, I'll drop the link about the water possibility of how they flooded things when used to make the pyramids happen. It's pretty next level shit. Go check it out if you have a chance.
I think if you look at any body of water, it's pretty much flooded something, and even in like the modern day freshwater stuff we have.
Yep. Anyway, guys, thanks for coming to hang out with us this morning. Check us out again next week. We are back here every Tuesday morning and Friday morning, kicking off 4 a.m. Central to 6 a.m. I do not believe we will have a show tonight. More than likely not. Everybody's going to be hanging out at Flattoberfest, and I'm kind of
streaming and whatnot. Yeah, love y'all.
Love you guys. We'll see you next week.